Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 21 video. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Detroit Lions, but this time with Jared Goff. And I actually did a lot of Matthew Stafford rebuilds. I did one without him on the Lions, I did one with him on the Patriots, I did one with Matthew Stafford regularly, doing a regular version of him on the Lions, and now I just did him with the Rams. So there's a lot of Matthew Stafford things on my page right now. But now it's time for Goofball Goff to take over this team. So this is the overlook of the team with Goofball Goff, and he is not going to stay on this team for long unless he gets star dev. But I'll keep him around for the first season because look at this contract. 77 overall, normal dev. His stats aren't even good. 16 interceptions for 22 touchdowns. Horrible. 5 years of paying him $25 million a year on average. What a clown if you think I'm going to pay him that much to be a 77 overall that throws 16 interceptions and 22 touchdowns a year. Jamal Agnew is here, and as always, I always move him up just because he has superstar dev and specialist, and I'm going to cut Mohamed Sanu like I did last time. He's 31 years old. He does nothing for this team. I'm going to cut him so that way Jamal Agnew can play in the slot because slot receivers get the most repetitions out of everyone, reps, whatever you want to call it. And Marvin Jones Jr. I will keep around for the first year, and usually he always wants a big contract, but I always can't give it to him because he's on the older side. This D-line looks solid. I might move into a 4-3. Jeff Okudah is here, and I'm only starting him just because he has superstar dev, and I remember that. And I am going to change into a 4-3 just because it is better, and the 4-6 defense, 96% scheme fit. So definitely want to keep that. And everything else here looks pretty good to me. I like it better having this 4-6. It just honestly looks better in my opinion as well. And also our D-line is clearly better than our linebacking core. So, yeah, other than that, guys, I would say that it's time to jump into these trades. So we're trading our free safety Everson Griffin and a 5th-round pick for a first this year and next year from the Cowboys. They're both old and they take up cap, and we just don't need them. Next, we're trading away Danny Amendola and Kerryon Johnson and for a first from the Vikings. They both take up cap, and again, we just don't need them. Next, we're trading away our outside linebacker, Jesse James, I believe, a left end for a first this year and a 6th next year from the Carolina Panthers. And if you guys didn't already notice, look at that. After all those trades, I collected all those first-round picks, and our team still looks exactly the same. So if you're crying about how unrealistic those trades were, the team looks exactly the same. It looks the same. Other than free safety, from what I can tell, free safety is the only problem from what I can see on the defense, but the team looks the same. I can't see a difference. I would just remove depth players that took up cap that didn't need to take up cap. And I could move Jeff Okudah to free safety, but I'm not going to do that because some people would cry about it in the comments, so I'm just going to get to the midseason mark. So here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the Colts, apparently, and we are 3-4, which is actually kind of surprising. 3rd in the division behind the Packers and the Bears, as usual, and we should be behind the Vikings, but Vikings suck in simulation. Kenny Golladay, 86 overall, superstar development, physical receiver. Physical archetype is the best archetype. Nobody can tell me differently for wide receiver. Deep threat is kind of cool, but it's only good whenever they have 99 speed like Tyreek Hill. I don't want to put Marvin Jones on a long-term contract. Jamal Agnew, I always do. He usually doesn't even make it to an 85. Like, XP is so screwed in this game. Like, within 4 years, Jamal Agnew with superstar dev should be an 85 overall. But either way, he's going to be a pretty good slot receiver, so I will keep him around. So I'm okay with that. So other than that, guys, that's a lot of so's that I just said. Let's get into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs with my floating iPhone and non-existent coach as our new coach, as we're coming off a loss to the Vikings, and apparently, obviously, we didn't make the playoffs. Looking into it, we are 4-12 behind everybody in our division, bottom of the division. Jared Goff was god-awful as usual, 31st best offense and worst defense in the NFL. I'm surprised that our defense was the worst, but Jared Goff, it's self-explanatory. He sucks. Adrian Peterson, I thought he would do a lot better than that for his final season. Kenny Golladay, obviously the receivers aren't going to do good if the quarterback does terrible. And middle linebacker with the most tackles on the team, Romeo Okwara with the most tackles for a loss, Jamie Collins with the most sacks, interceptions, 3 for our middle linebacker as he's actually having a pretty good season. Safeties is 0 and defensive touchdowns is 0. So overall, the team sucks, obviously, because it's the Lions. They always suck. So other than that, let's just get into the offseason. So here we are in the offseason as the Browns beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, apparently, and looking into the 2020 retirements, actually, we are going to be looking into the... What is it? NFC North it is? South? No, it's NFC North. Okay, I don't know why I'm so dumb. Adrian Peterson and a tight end have retired. Adrian Peterson finishes as a Lion. That kind of sucks. Adrian Peterson didn't even... I don't even think he made it to a conference championship, did he? I don't know exactly. But Marvin Jones, 2-year deal I will do, but we don't have any money to re-sign him. That is surprising, but he went from an 80 overall to a 78, so no thanks. I mean, 78 with morale, so I went to a 79, and he didn't put up good numbers because Jared Goff sucks, so there's no point to re-signing him in general. So who's taking up all the money? Person would be Jared Goff. Would you look at that? Marvin Jones Jr., Desmond Trufant, Justin Coleman, Danny Shelton, and, well, not much after that, honestly. Yeah, not many people take up. Where's Trey Flowers? I know Trey Flowers probably takes up a lot. I think his deal is probably back-loaded instead of front-loaded. I hate that in Madden, too. You should be able to decide whether you want a back-loaded contract or a front-loaded contract. Anyways, let's get into free agency. So here we are in free agency, and we really don't have that much money. And this team needs money to succeed because it sucks so bad. So the people that are hogging it, a.k.a. Jared Goff, needs to go... Wait. He has no penalty? Yes, off my team. I don't even need to trade you. Who would want you anyways? Dude, I thought he would have a major penalty if I cut him. He didn't have a penalty at all. That is interesting. Okay, he's gone. I don't have to deal with him now. And I get 2 first-round picks because the Detroit friggin' finessed the living crap out of Detroit. So that's great. And now we have $28 million to spend in free agency. And... there's no one here that I want to have even in free agency because all the players that are probably good got scooped up in the first week. So that didn't even matter whether or not cut Jared Goff. So let's just get into the draft. So we were here on the draft picking up a quarterback. Joel Russell, 72 overall, only normal dev. This is the best quarterback in the class, though. I'm not lying when I say that. Like, there's literally no one here. Looking into the quarterback class, this is everyone else. I took the first quarterback in the draft. It sucks. It's really bad. But anyways, guys, other than that, let's look into the team. So this is what the team looks like after the draft, as it's not really, the best, I would say. But I would say it's an improvement, as it looks like... Oh, I didn't notice that before, but our middle linebacker now has star dev, and I didn't even check developments at the end of the season last season. So I'm sorry about that. But either way, this team should do better without Jared Goff. I mean, yes, he is a lower overall, and he has the same development trait, but I just think he'll do better. My floating iPhone and I shall see you at the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark with my floating iPhone, as it is 28-7, coming off a huge loss to the Seahawks, as we were 4-3, doing a lot better. Well, not doing a lot better, I guess, just a little bit better than last season. Romeo Okwara here, and I would like to re-sign him. Never mind, $9 million a year for a normal development. You're funny. Deshaun Hand, I would like to have back instead, $6 million a year. See, notice how he has a development and he's 3 overalls lower, and he wants less money. Yes, I will re-sign you. Tracy Walker, I've done multiple Lions rebuilds, and he's never even come close to being an 85 overall. I don't want to resign him for that reason. I could just probably pick up someone better in free agency. Terrell Crosby. I'll resign you just because you're 76, which isn't bad overall for a lineman, so why not? And he's actually relatively cheap for a tackle, especially a right tackle. So other than that, guys, let's jump into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs coming off a win to the Falcons. As we were 10-6 here to face LA. Who else? Matthew Stafford's going to be waiting. Is he still on the Rams? I want to check that out real quick. LA, let's see about it. Oh, no, I'm going the wrong way. Rams, roster, QB, Matthew Stafford. Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. And he's wearing number 7. Whenever I had him in my Rams rebuild, he was wearing number 15. But interesting. We're playing the Rams in the wild card. That's kind of awkward. We're both 10-6. I'm second in the division, so we're playing at the Rams home stadium as the Packers finished 12-4. But Joel Russell did amazing. 16th best offense, 30th best defense, though. that's still interesting. 4,100 yards, 33 TDs, 12 interceptions. Take notes, Jared Goff. DeAndre Swift, 8 TDs. Somehow Christian Wade had 11 TDs, but he had 1,100 yards. Not a bad season. Kenny Golladay, over 1,000 yards, 11 TDs. Great season for him. And defensively, our middle linebacker with the most tackles on the team, most tackles for a loss, goes to 11 for Monte Tyson, a rookie, and sacks 13.5 for Trey Flowers. That's impressive. Interceptions is 4 for Justin Coleman. So that's actually pretty good, actually. Safeties is 1 for Jamie Collins, and defensive touchdowns is 0. So other than that, guys, I would say that it's time to simulate this wild card round against the Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford to see if we can move on to the divisional round. And thank God we don't have Jared Goff, and we beat them 23-21 here to face the 9-7 Philadelphia Eagles. And who was the player of the week? Our new quarterback just rubbed it in Matthew Stafford's face, getting player of the week, saying, "Nah, I'm the future," as we make the playoffs with the Lions, and the Matthew Stafford never did. I don't think he did, but we lost to the Eagles. That's disappointing. Did Matthew Stafford ever make the playoffs with the Lions? That's kind of interesting to know. But here we are in the offseason with my floating iPhone, as always. And Browns beat the Packers in the Super Bowl 21-14. I'm going to upgrade a new rookie, apparently. He probably got a dev up because I see a bunch of XP points. But looking into the retirements for the NFC North, no one on our team did retire. So that is good. And looking into the re-signings as well, I don't need to re-sign a punter. Romeo Okwara is greedy. And Tracy Walker, just as I was talking crap about him, has superstar dev. Of course, now I have to re-sign him or else everyone in the comments will kill me. So I have re-signed Tracy Walker because he has superstar dev, and that is the sole reason alone that I am re-signing him. Really hasn't put up amazing numbers for the team. Honestly, wasn't a standout player. How did he even get superstar dev? He wasn't even stand out. He didn't stand out at all. As Joel Russell now has star dev off of that great rookie season, probably won Rookie of the Year. And Kenny Golladay has superstar X Factor with that 11 touchdown over 1,000-yard season. I'm putting double me and grab and go on him. That is amazing for us. And looking into it defensively, obviously Tracy Walker with the superstar dev and his ability is going to be reach elite. No, I don't want that on a safety. Tip drill and Trey Flowers now has superstar dev. 13.5 sacks, I believe he had, so that's really great. He has run committed, so I'm going to change it to under pressure. Edge threat is a really good ability, but I guess he hasn't unlocked it, so defensive rally is what it's going to be. I don't think this affects simulation that much, but maybe if we hop into a game, it'll change. And our free safety now has star dev that we got in the draft. I didn't see any standout numbers from him. I don't know how our safeties got upgrade. And this guy, I saw him got XP points, so he probably got defensive Rookie of the Year. So that is cool. Jamie Collins is regressing hard. He's taking up $10 million in cap. Yes, I will cut him. He's a second string middle linebacker that's regressing, and there is no penalty, and he's taking up $10 million in cap per year. So definitely cutting him. Danny Shelton, what about you? $4 million a year? And your penalty is only 1.25. John Pinacini is there, so I'm not going to cut Danny Shelton either. But here we are in free agency. Well, after free agency, we picked up J.J. Watt because our defense is horrible, and Von Miller, and Ronald Jones, and Auden Tate. So a great free agency for us. Auden Tate seems to be never touched, even though he's 25 with star dev, so he has a lot of potential, actually. And this team is shaping up really nicely, and this defense should play a lot better this season. Let's refresh this. And it says J.J. Watt's my rush defensive tackle. So I guess I will move him to defensive tackle, and I'll probably move Von Miller down to defensive end because we are playing in a 4-3 defense. So I don't want Von Miller to start playing in coverage because he doesn't have those coverage skills. So yeah, I'm gonna move JJ Watt. I always get them mixed up. JJ Watt inside to defensive tackle and probably move Von Miller down to left end. Sorry if I'm blanking out here really hard. J.J. Watt does not look right in the Detroit Lions uniforms. It looks really bad on him, not going to lie. And let's see how Von Miller looks in the Detroit Lions uniforms whenever I enter it in here, if it will ever load at any point in year. Yes, it does. He doesn't look that bad, honestly. Okay, he doesn't look that bad. I think the Broncos jerseys maybe look a little bit better, but this defensive line is insane. And I'm pretty sure defensive line is what affects the defense the most. Getting pressure in is what affects the defense the most for defensive simulation. And I'm pretty sure offensive simulation is determined by your running back and your quarterback. So let's just get into the draft. Here we are in the draft, picking up a free safety. I'm probably going to move the other free safety down to defensive back because this one's a stud. Hidden development, 76 overall. And this is the team after the draft, as I did end up picking up a right guard as well to help out with our quarterback blocking, I guess. And I'm going to give him strong arm for this XP point. Get up your throw power. Throw power does not go up. That is fine, though. And I'm going to make sure Jamal Agnew is going to... Is he going to be a slot? Yeah, he is going to be a slot. So I'm going to put Auden Tate as my second string. And yeah, I don't see why this second-year quarterback should have any problem with this team. He played really well last season. His defense is even better this season. And last season, the defense really struggled. So hopefully we can do a lot better this season, especially with this pass rush. So other than that, guys, I'd say it's time to move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the football team. We have a breakout challenge. I'm probably not even going to bother to hop into this one. I'll probably just simulate past it. So probably won't get a dev up. CPU is really bad at it, but we are 3-5 somehow, doing worse than last season. Third in the division behind the Bears and the Green Bay Packers, which is surprising. But Frank Ragnow here is definitely going to be a re-sign. 89 overall with Star Dev center as he re-signs with the team. Justin Coleman is here, 80 overall Star Dev. I'll keep him on a 1-year deal, and he wants more bonus. Okay, he's being a little bit greedy. And our middle linebacker I definitely want to keep just because he does have that Star Dev. Wish he was a little bit higher of an overall, but you can't really change that. And other than that, guys, this team is looking pretty solid with my non-existent coach. So here we are in the playoffs, still without a coach. I guess our QB is calling the shots as we finished 10-6, coming off a win to the Jets, second in the division behind the 10-6 Bears as our not great season for the QB, 22nd best offense, but the 7th best defense. So I guess they flipped positions and who carried the team, 3,700 yards, 25 TDs, 12 interceptions, looking like Jared Goff. Rojo, 11 TDs, over 1,000 yards. TJ Hawkinson had a pretty solid season. Not really that great because our quarterback looks like Jared Goff. Justin Coleman with the most tackles on the team, most tackles for a loss. 16 for J.J. Watt, and sacks on the team. 20 for Von Miller is insane, and he had an interception. Great year for Von Miller and J.J. Watt. 3 interceptions for Justin Coleman. Safeties on the team is going to be 1 for Von Miller, and defensive touchdowns is going to be 0 on the team. That is insane. He had to have won Defensive Player of the Year as Patrick Mahomes wins MVP. Offensive Player of the Year. Let's look at Defensive Player of the Year. Von Miller for Defensive Player of the Year. Insane. Kind of expected that. Now let's look at best D-line. Von Miller and Aaron Donald is in second, and J.J. Watt is in third for best D-line, as that pressure really did change the outcome of a lot of things. So I'm going to simulate this wild card round against the Chicago Bears to see if we can move on to the divisional round. And can we do it? Yes, we can, beating 38-34, and look who we're facing, the 11-5 LA Rams. Let's see if we can beat Matthew Stafford in the divisional round. Can we beat him this time? No, he beats us, blowing us out 14-41, like the Saints did. Kind of, yeah, similar to what the Saints did. Is he still on the Rams? Let's see. No, it's Baker Mayfield. Okay. Baker Mayfield is here. I can see why we kind of got blown out now. Now, wait, hold on. Jared Goff is on the football team. Did he get a dev up at all? I want to see. No, he didn't. He's still an 81 garbage quarterback. Where is Matthew Stafford? I kind of want to see what team he is on. Yeah, just look at the NFL. I need to go there. Scroll down, and he should be around in the 70s now, I believe. Oh, there it is. Wait, he's still in the Rams? Am I that blind? 78 overall, Matthew Stafford is still in the Rams. Where is it? Yeah, he is. Okay. He was just a second string and I was blind. Wait, hold on. You're paying your second string QB, Matthew Stafford, more than you're paying Baker Mayfield. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Logic is none here. Let's just get into the offseason. Here we are in the offseason as the Seahawks beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl. And looking into the retirements, NFC North, oh no, our third string QB retired. What shall we ever do? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so Looking into it, Justin Coleman's still an 80 overall with star dev. He is regressing, but I don't really care. I'm going to up his salary as he requested and up the years to make him more interested, I would say. And he resigns with the team. That is what I wanted. I don't want that guy, and I don't want anyone else on this team, well, in those re-signings, as what I meant to say, obviously. But looking into it, this is what the team looks like. Offensively, I don't see any upgrades so far. And defensively, looking into it, no defensive upgrades from what I can see either. And that free safety is only a star dev, sadly. And I did move my other free safety down to defensive back, as you could see there before. But we're going to be going into our final season, so we might as well go all out. So let's just hop into free agency. Here we are after free agency, picking up David DeCastro at the right guard, obviously. Will Lutz as our kicker, Brian Bulaga, and Greg Booth, a CPU-generated punter. So we got a punter, a kicker, a right guard, and I'm already blanking out. So I guess you guys can find out for yourself. So this O-line is looking a lot better. It's looking a lot better. The quarterback should be happy with it. The quarterback should be able to perform with this offensive line. And it's overall looking great for this team, man. This team is honestly stacked, but I'm going to spend all my picks in the draft. So it is the final year, so of course I'm going to go all out. I'm trading a first, a third, and a 7 for James Daniels, the left guard from the Bears. Next, I'm trading away a next year's first and a second for Tyus Bowser. I know this is unrealistic, but I didn't have a lot of cap room to get a lot of outside linebackers, so this is what we got. So this is the team after the draft, and offensively, we look amazing. Every piece is filled in. Every starting piece is a star or higher development, which is great to see. Same with the defense. It looks absolutely amazing, and I'm very happy with it. Tyus Bowser is kind of a rusher more than he is a passer, but it's whatever. It's what I could afford. I didn't have much cap room left with the team. 91 offense, 84 defense. Let's get to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the Broncos, as we are 7-1. That is what I'm talking about. Top of the division. That is amazing. I love that with my floating iPhone, as it's still not getting fixed, but it is the final season, so it just like every season in the final season, I do not need to re-sign anyone, so I will not re-sign anyone. So other than that, guys, there's more so's to come. Let's get into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a loss to the Packers. That's not a good sign, but we have a first round bye. Show it to me. First round bye with the Browns. Let's go. That's amazing. But looking into it, 14-2. I just had a major voice crack there. That was so bad. 14-2. That's amazing. Just to show you it's not forced and you guys won't be stingy, look at this. None of it's forced. It says home win forced for the bye week. That's just what the CPU does. You can't fix that. It's stupid. But none of these wins were forced, so don't say in the comments, oh, you cheated. No, none of these wins were forced at all. I got this all legit, boys. 14-2 for the Lions. By far my best Lions rebuild whenever I'm doing this. Joel Russell had a great season. 12th best offense in the NFL. 8th best defense. Didn't have a great season, but actually pretty good. 4,100 yards, 32 TDs, and only 4 interceptions, so never mind. Did have a great season. 12 touchdowns for Rojos, 13 for DeAndre Swift, but not even 1,000 yards. Auden Tate, 1,100 yards, 8 TDs, and Kenny Golladay had 11 TDs. Great year for the receivers as well. Defensively, Jeff Okudah with the most tackles on the team. Most tackles for a loss goes to 19 for Von Miller, and most sacks on the team is going to be 15 for Von Miller and 10 for J.J. Watt. Interceptions, 5 for Jeff Okudah. He's having a great year. And safeties on the team is going to be 0, and defensive touchdowns on the team is going to be 1 for Jeff Okudah, as he's really had a breakout year this year. It's really, really nice to see. And we're going to simulate this wild card round to see who we are going to be playing in the divisional round. And we are going to be playing the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm super excited about this. And actually, I'm going to hop into this to make sure we can win, because I feel like with Madden simulation, it sucks. We've already lost 2 divisional round games against the Saints and the Rams, so I want to make sure I win this one. So here we are in the divisional round, as it is 17-28, now 20-28. Can we make a comeback entering the fourth quarter? 28-28, 35-28, 35-35 in the fourth quarter, as it's coming down to the wire against the Lions and the Niners, as we are in the red zone. 41-35. The Niners are marching down the field, but they cannot make it, as Dan Quinn and the 49ers will not move on. And we just barely beat the 8-8 49ers, and we are here to now face the 10-6 Cowgirls, as we had 2 defensive players not defensive players, 2 players of the week. So we're facing the 10-6 Cowgirls as we are 14-2 in the conference championship. Here we are in the conference championship. We are up 17-7 now, 17-14. So we had a 2-possession lead before late in the fourth quarter. Come on, we gotta hold them here. 20-14. Final seconds. 12 seconds left in the game. 20-14 on the. Oh, you're kidding. You're kidding. We lost in the final 10 seconds. We lost 20-21 to the Cowgirls. We were 14-2. What is this? What is this madness? I need to scroll down. Can I watch the play? Wait, no, I'm going up in time. I shouldn't be going up. I should be going downwards in time, but I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But look, 2 seconds left, 4th and goal. Dak Prescott throws an 18-yard touchdown. What a defensive breakdown. What is that? So our 14-2 season ends to the 10-6 Cowgirls as we choked a 17-7 lead and lost 20-21 with 2 seconds left, and they scored an 18-yard touchdown on us. This team was still really fun to do. That's just so unbelievably frustrating to see that happen. It's so heartbreaking to see that. Still, Jared Goofball was not the leader of this team. We had a different leader, and he worked out great. Absolutely loved it. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this rebuild. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.